Mosquitoes are some of the most familiar insects on our planet. We often know them by the high-pitched buzz of their wings or the itchy red bump they leave behind. But these tiny creatures are far more complex than we might think. They have survived for millions of years, adapting to nearly every environment on Earth, from the humid tropics to the chilly Arctic. Their success is largely due to one extraordinary feature: their highly specialized mouthparts. This intricate structure is not just a simple straw. It is a sophisticated piece of biological engineering that allows them to find food, survive, and thrive in a vast range of habitats. Understanding the mosquito's mouth is key to understanding the mosquito itself. For the female, it is a tool for acquiring a blood meal, which is essential for her eggs to develop. This act of feeding is what makes mosquitoes carriers of diseases, a fact that has shaped human history. For the male, the same basic structure is used for a completely different and far more peaceful purpose. The mouth parts, known collectively as the proboscis, are a testament to the power of evolution. They demonstrate how a single feature can be adapted for different needs, ensuring the continuation of the species in a world full of challenges and opportunities. These tiny vampires, as they are sometimes called, have perfected the art of feeding. Their approach is subtle and surprisingly complex. When a female mosquito lands on an animal, she is not just jabbing it with a needle. She is using a collection of delicate, sharp instruments to locate a blood vessel with incredible precision. This process is quick and efficient, often going unnoticed by the host until it is too late. The design of their mouthparts allows them to overcome the natural defenses of their hosts, such as skin and the clotting of blood. It is a fascinating, if sometimes irritating, example of nature's ingenuity at work. The importance of these mouthparts extends beyond just feeding. They are the mosquito's primary connection to its world of food. This connection dictates where they can live and how they behave. By studying this remarkable toolkit, we can learn a great deal about the insect's life cycle, its role in the ecosystem, and its relationship with other living things, including ourselves. This knowledge is not just for curiosity. It has profound implications for human health and our ability to coexist with these persistent and widespread insects. The story of the mosquito is, in many ways, the story of its mouth. If you were to look at a mosquito's proboscis under a microscope, you would discover it is not a single hollow tube. It is actually a complex bundle of 6 separate, needle-like stylets, all neatly wrapped in a protective outer sheath called the labium. This sheath is quite flexible and does not pierce the skin itself. Instead, when the mosquito is ready to feed, the labium bends back almost like a hinge, allowing the sharp inner stylets to get to work. Each of these 6 parts has a specific job to do, working together in perfect harmony to achieve a single goal: to draw blood efficiently and effectively. 2 of these stylets, called the maxillae, are incredibly sharp and serrated, like tiny saws. Their job is to cut through the tough outer layers of the skin, clearing a path for the other parts. Just inside the maxillae are 2 more stylets, the mandibles, which are even finer and are used to hold the skin apart, keeping the opening clear. This coordinated action allows the mosquito to penetrate the skin with minimal force and disturbance. It is a marvel of microscopic engineering, a surgical procedure performed on a scale almost too small for us to see with the naked eye. At the very center of this bundle are 2 final tubes. One is the hypopharynx, which acts like a tiny syringe needle. Through this tube, the mosquito injects saliva into the wound. This saliva contains a fascinating cocktail of chemicals, including an anticoagulant to stop the blood from clotting and an anesthetic to numb the area so the host doesn't feel the bite. The other central tube is the labrum, and this is the straw. Once the saliva has done its work, the mosquito uses the labrum to suck up the now freely flowing blood, drawing it directly from a tiny blood vessel. This entire process is a beautiful example of form-meeting function in the natural world. Every single component of the proboscis is perfectly shaped for its task. The saw-like maxillae for cutting, the mandibles for holding, the hypopharynx for injecting, and the labrum for drinking. All these parts, working in unison, allow the female mosquito to obtain the vital protein she needs for her offspring. It is an intricate and highly effective system that has been refined over millions of years of evolution, making the mosquito one of nature's most successful blood feeders. It is a common misconception that all mosquitoes bite humans and drink blood. In reality, this behavior is exclusive to the females. Male mosquitoes lead entirely different and much more peaceful lives. They have no interest in blood whatsoever. Instead, male mosquitoes are gentle nectar feeders, much like bees or butterflies. Their mouthparts, while structurally similar to the females, are not strong enough to pierce the skin of an animal. They use their proboscis to sip sugary nectar from flowers and sweet juices from plants. This sugary liquid provides them with all the energy they need for their short lives. The reason for this dramatic difference in diet comes down to reproduction. The female mosquito requires a protein-rich meal to produce and develop her eggs. Blood is the perfect source for these essential nutrients. Without a blood meal, most female mosquitoes cannot lay a viable batch of eggs. So, her drive to find a host is a fundamental part of her reproductive cycle. She is not biting out of malice. She is simply a mother-to-be, seeking the nourishment required to bring the next generation of mosquitoes into the world. Finding a blood meal is a matter of life and death for her lineage. Male mosquitoes, on the other hand, have a much simpler role. Their primary purpose is to mate with the females. This requires energy, which they get from plant nectar, but it does not require the complex proteins found in blood. Their mouthparts are therefore less developed. They lack the sharp, saw-like maxillae needed for piercing skin. This difference in anatomy dictates their behavior and ensures they do not compete with females for blood resources. While the female is out hunting for a host, the male can be found quietly hovering around plants, a harmless vegetarian in the insect world. This division of feeding strategies is a brilliant evolutionary solution. It allows males and females to exploit different food sources, reducing competition within the species. The males fuel their flight and mating activities with readily available plant sugars, while the females undertake the riskier task of seeking blood to ensure the survival of their offspring. This dietary split is fundamental to the mosquito's life cycle and is a key reason for their incredible success. It is a tale of two very different diets, driven by the different biological needs of the two sexes. The versatility of the mosquito's mouthparts is a major factor in its ability to survive in such a wide array of environments across the globe. For females, the proboscis is not limited to feeding on just one type of animal. Different species of mosquito have adapted to feed on mammals, birds, reptiles, and even amphibians. Their mouthparts are strong and adaptable enough to pierce the varied skin and hides of these different hosts. This flexibility means that as long as there are animals with blood, there is a potential meal, allowing mosquitoes to colonize nearly every ecosystem on Earth. This adaptability also extends to finding water and other sources of nutrition. Even the blood-feeding females will supplement their diet with plant nectar for energy, just like the males. Their proboscis is delicate enough to sip from a flower, but strong enough to pierce tough skin. This ability to switch between food sources is a significant survival advantage, especially when blood hosts are scarce. It allows them to persist in an area until a suitable animal appears. The proboscis is therefore a multi-purpose tool, essential for both the everyday energy needs and the special reproductive requirements of the female mosquito. By understanding the intricate mechanics of how a mosquito feeds, we can develop better ways to protect ourselves. Knowing that the mosquito injects saliva to prevent blood clotting explains why bites become itchy. It is our body's immune reaction to these foreign proteins. This knowledge has led to the development of repellents that work by confusing a mosquito's senses, making it harder for them to locate a host to bite. Other strategies involve creating traps that mimic the scent of a host, luring the mosquitoes away from people and towards a device that can eliminate them. Ultimately, studying the mosquito's proboscis is crucial for public health. These insects are vectors for some of the world's most serious diseases, such as malaria, dengue fever, and Zika virus. These pathogens are transmitted during the feeding process, passed from the mosquito to the host through its saliva. By learning more about the structure and function of the mouthparts, scientists can work on new ways to block this transmission. A deeper understanding of nature's tiny vampires is one of our best defenses against the dangers they can pose, helping us to live safer, healthier lives alongside them.